Good evening, everyone. My name is Mrs. Elizabeth Gatima, and I'm honored to be the current chairperson of the esteemed African Women's Group Scotland, AWGS. First and foremost, I would like to wish all of our members a very happy anniversary. Congratulations to each and every one of you for your commitment to the group. 30 years ago, our sister and my dear friend, Mrs. Batha Yakubu, embarked on a mission here in Aberdeen. The goal was simple and yet profound: to reduce isolation and loneliness, to empower the African women living in Scotland to realize their full potential and to ensure their voices were heard and their presence felt through their contributions to society.
I think the initial goal of this group was just to meet, to know that there are people here, there are women like you here going through the same thing like you here. So we just wanted to reduce the loneliness, the isolation, the desperation, you know, we just to be each other's sister. It was very, very important that we have a space of our own to just be ourselves. Our main objective is to empower African women to be the best they can be. And by this we mean to improve themselves through training, through advice, to look for something here that they can do. And also to encourage women to go into politics, to go into business. And because of that, we try to engage with business people to come and talk to us, with political people to talk with us. And I hope that this will move us forward. There were incidences that prompted this group to be formed. And I noticed that we were just very few, and we were isolated, we were lonely, we don't know each other. And it felt that our voices both our voices and faces are not seen or heard. And the thing that made me really to start the group was an incident in 1994 when my mom died. I was here and I felt bad, and there was no one except my husband and my 3-year-old child. You know, I came from a large family. I was the only one not there at home when this thing happened. So I was really distraught. And that time I was pregnant too. And because of the stress and the anxiety of this place, I miscarried. And I was alone in the hospital. And when I left the hospital, I said, no, this can't continue. I have to find some sisters here. I just have to look for them. And that was the beginning of the quest to do something. But someone told me that I could find African women in Aberdeen Women's Center. So I was excited. I went to the Women's Center. I became active there, but African women were not coming to that place. Other ethnic minorities were not coming to the place. I got involved because I had nothing doing. That is our life here. When we come, we are professional women. We were working back at our home countries. But because we come here to join our husbands that are studying, that time they came mostly to study, and then the wives came along with them. We have to leave our jobs at home and then come here and have no job and have nothing. You are just left with a 2-year-old child or small children to deal with because the man is dealing with his studies. So life was really very difficult for women. And because you are well-read, you have experience, but you can't get a job, you become depressed. So when I went to Women's Center and African women weren't coming, I had to do something about it. And what did I do? I just walk along Union Street. If I see any African woman, I will greet her and take her contact details. and just begin to communicate with her. And when I got enough women, up to 10 women, I booked a place and I called a meeting, and we showed up for the meeting. We weren't many, but we showed up. That was the beginning of the group. The goal has been achieved. It's a hard struggle, but more and more women came, and as we met, ideas started coming. So we began to do things for ourselves, meeting for ourselves, and organizing activities for our children. And I remember that one of the things that really affected us is lack of job and lack of our life experiences. It's like all the experience you've gathered from your country and coming here is just useless. We are never seen. We are seen enough to be called names because there was racism at that time and discrimination. You couldn't get employment for one reason, or there were a lot of barriers. So what are we going to do about it? Our children come home crying because they have been bullied in school, called names. We have to do something about it. We have to call the education department and tell them that this is not on. We have to inform each other when we know that there's a job somewhere. We tell everybody so that we can apply for that job. And one of the things that was obvious, there was no space in the public square for African women to show what they are capable of. And these are well-educated women running big school. I was a principal of a secondary school, but I was sitting at home with no job. There are people that are accountants, they work in the banks, they are doctors, they can't get jobs. So we have to do something. We want to be heard, we want to be seen. And so the first thing we did was to call the first conference of African women in Scotland. And the topic of our conference was our invisibility in this place. People forget that the first African women in Scotland came in 16th century, over 400 years ago. Their names, Black Helen and Black Margaret, they were captured in the sea, a Portuguese ship, and the British captured them and brought them as a gift to the king in Edinburgh. That is our presence here, but how many people know about that? So we said, it will not happen to us this time. This time we are going to speak, we are going to participate, so that another 400 years, people will be wondering, Africans were here, what did they do? No. So we started documenting our experiences. After the conference, we published children's storybook because we wanted our children to know where they come from and the story. Because we educate our children through storytelling, because that is how you pass on values to your children. We published a book called Moonlight Stories. You know, I know why the leopard have spots, because he was greedy. And so don't be greedy. That's a lesson to teach children, not to be greedy, because somebody will punish you for doing that. And then after the publication of the Moonlight Story, we published a magazine, our magazine, called African Heritage, so that we can document our stories, we can write whatever we want to write. We did that. And then when we were 10 years old, we published a book called African Women Speaking, because people are not seeing us, people are not listening to us, they are not hearing us. So we have to publish a book called African Women Speaking.
As a group, we have faced challenges such as homelessness, food poverty, healthcare issues, and the rising cost of living, which we continue to address through our hardship fund. Our generosity reaches beyond Scotland, with outreach to our sisters in Sierra Leone, Uganda, and Nigeria. And this is something we'll continue to do. Looking ahead, we are excited at the launch of our youth project, with the goal of recording and cataloguing the arrival and sentiment of the first Africans in Aberdeen and Scotland as a whole. This project is especially significant as we continue to support political activism and raise awareness in our communities. The future is indeed promising. We see emerging leaders ready to step forward with confidence and courage. While there will be challenges, there are also immense opportunities for those willing to seize them and work hard. Our goal is to empower the next generation to rise boldly, embracing their rich heritage and ensuring that no one gets left behind. We will continue to support new business startups, encourage networking, and provide opportunities for personal and professional growth.
The first time I was in the group I was invited to the meeting of Greg, online meeting, was during COVID, I remember. And I expressed as an immigrant how lonely I am because I am the only Bolivian who are here in Aberdeen, I believe. And in the meeting was Mama Berta, and she sent us, as soon as she heard, she sent me inside message and said, call me. And since then, I am part of the group. I can express freely what I feel in the group. I am here to say happy anniversary for all of you, and thank you for having in the group, and thank you for the amazing support that I received for all those 5 years.
I want to express my deepest gratitude to this incredible group for standing by me through thick and thin. They have been supporting me ever since I came into the UK with my family. They've given me support both financially and emotionally. I am grateful to be part of this group. Thank you so much for your unwavering support and commitment.
There is so much more that AWJS can achieve, but we need your support. Join us in our mission to empower African women, strengthen community ties, and foster greater understanding across cultures. Let us work together to make Aberdeen and all of Scotland a better place for everyone. You can contribute in various ways by donating to the work of the African Women's Group Scotland, by volunteering your time, or spreading the word and helping to amplify our voices. Once again, happy anniversary and thank you very much.
I would like to thank my family, the board members, our supporters, our funders, the City Council, and especially to Barney Crockett, who used to help us with our court cases and racial cases. Also Philip Monde as our elder here, that support what we do. And I want to give special thanks to the team, the people that are behind the scene that organize this event. Thank you all. God bless you.